video games. Let's continue.
Mm-hmm.
The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dreams as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, multi-million-dollar visual effects, and then you wake up in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain, but the part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga was still sleeping wrapped tightly in her blanket. Those blankets do not look very warm.
They're thin.
They're extremely fucking thin. It's similar to the shit I sleep with.
Yeah.
Although me sleeping in the shit I sleep in is primarily because I'm too warm if I sleep in anything else.
I'm justified because I live in California, so it's only fair.
I'm always a human boiler, so I always just have the fucking thing of, yes, I'm warm. Thick blanket, yes, I boil.
Yeah, for me, if it's like wintertime, I get real cold easy, so I get the thickest I have possible and just wrap myself around in it. Cause like cold.
You're not used to cold, are you?
No.
I'm used to temperatures being 10 degrees C half the time.
Yeah, I don't deal with that very well. I like my stuff warm. I really like my stuff warm.
Yeah, since you live in Cali, it's hard to fucking imagine cold temperatures for you.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I would burn in what you would consider warm.
Yeah, I feel like that's what the consensus is. California will burn up a lot of colder folks.
Here we go. Let's continue. Wrapping so tightly in hot summer. I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to have a look at myself. I'd better shave. Strange idea. Before, twice a month was enough, but now, nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anywhere. Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can't start earlier than 9 a.m. This means I have plenty of time. Which I can spend walking and washing, for example. The water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness had helped me brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not that different from toothpaste. When I returned to the cabin, Olga was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror and fixing her hair.
Good morning, Semyon.
Morning. Because of a lack of sleep, my head was still singing and my thoughts were jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in 2 or 3 hours more.
How come you got up so early?
It just happened.
And no neckerchief once again. Let me.
I'll do it myself, not a big deal. On my way to the canteen.
I don't think so. Do it now. Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast?
How could I ever forget? Oh, and what's the lineup going to be about today?
We'll discuss the agenda for the day.
So, what's the agenda? Frankly speaking, I didn't care for what might be on the agenda. For our courageous pioneer troop, I was mostly interested in where our brave leader will send our little pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I could manage to avoid enemy locations.
You'll find that out at the lineup.
She gave me a wily smile. Olga, you know my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather... Well, you know. I believe it's okay to miss the lineup once. It could get nasty if I fail to control it right there. Where did all this courage come from?
You have 5 more minutes.
I'm afraid I need more time. Could you tell me right now, please? Sure, I'll try, but just in case it all goes down.
Oh, fine. On our list today is cleaning the camp locations, organizing the books in the library, and some other minor tasks. Of course, we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today.
You bet. Definitely. And now I'd rather...
Come on, let's hit the road.
I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it waiting for Olga to leave. Actually, I didn't have any particular reason to behave this way. But the voice within me kept telling me I have nothing to do at the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back in the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. Well, I'm not planning on taking part in community life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed and I'm still right where I started. All the residents seem to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. They seemed even more normal and natural than let's say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live their familiar lives and do their regular stuff day by day, and don't understand what the world around them is, not what it looks like. Okay. But this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of Solonyok Camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I've decided here and now those people are involved in what's happening to me. Can they give me answers? Or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? It seems I overdid it a bit with the thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Two's company, three's a crowd. Lena was sitting at the farthest corner of the canteen lazily picking with her fork at the amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having breakfast with her seems a good idea. We can have a chat in peace. Or at least try to have one. I was on the way to her table when suddenly someone grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian.
Get your meal and come. We need to talk. What are you waiting for?
I was a bit confused. Pardon? Isn't this a bit too sudden?
What's wrong? Get your meal and sit down.
I suppose that she considers her behavior completely normal. Sorry, but I promised Lena.
The first one?
Yes.
Alright.
I was sure Lena wouldn't mind if I sat next to her.
Hold on. Wait a second.
Sorry, maybe later. I gently loosened my sleeve from her grip and headed to the farthest corner of the canteen. Xenia was shouting something in my direction, but I tried to ignore her. Hi, good morning. Having heard librarian shouting, Lena had been stealing glances at me for a while.
Morning.
Strangely enough, she didn't blush, but smiled instead. Would you mind if I join you? I'll get my meal, but I'll get my meal and be back in no time.
Yeah. Yes. Sure.
In a minute, I was already sitting in front of her with the simplest set of plates on a tray. Porridge, two poached eggs, 4 pieces of wheat bread, a boiled sausage, a glass of compote, and made of unknown fruits and berries. Have a nice meal.
Thanks.
I was trying to eat as neatly as I could, no chomping, smearing food, or spilling the compote over myself. It seems that eating like a human and not like a hog was not hard at all. As usual, Lena remained silent, which means I should start the conversation. Going to the dance tonight?
Probably.
She was silent for a while.
And you?
I don't know yet. Though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't like dance parties since my school days.
Why so?
What do you mean? My mind was still far away in my school times.
Why don't you want to go?
I didn't say I don't want to.
Okay then.
But if you're inviting me. Lena turned red and looked away.
I don't really.
Sorry, just kidding. I felt confused. I'd better not joke like that.
Fine.
Lena said indifferently and focused on her food while her face turned even more red. Why am I stuck on this dance as if we have nothing else to talk about? But wait, is there actually anything? By the way, maybe you know what Senya wanted to ask me.
Huh?
I mean, when I just came in, she wanted something from me.
I don't know.
I see. The conversation reached a dead end, so I seemed to fully focus on my meal. Lena finished her breakfast first.
I should go. See you later.
See ya. I was finish I was finishing chewing on the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pear cable. I wonder if they have internet access here. I guess not. A pioneer sitting at the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved at him in return. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with food, it's time to search for some clues. Sometime later, I finally came to the infirmary. I have nothing to do in that place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep a distance from her. Such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I just hadn't had the courage to enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no reason to. Not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing on the porch.
Hi there, Pioneer.
She came closer.
You must be sick. Did you come for medicine?
No, I was just wandering around.
Oh, a truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you.
I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully.
You both will help me to make an inventory of the supplied medicine, which arrived today.
Both. Who are we? Perhaps I misheard. But what word could be confused with both?
Hi again.
Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. Of course she did. Of course she did.
Yes.
It seemed strange I hadn't noticed her until now. Maybe you're blind. Maybe you need glasses.
Yeah.
Although in all the art for this game, the main protagonist seems to have no eyes.
Yeah.
It seems strange I hadn't noticed her until now.
Come here after dinner. I have explained everything to Lena. She will tell you what to do.
Medicine supplied today. But Olga told me that no bus would arrive in the next couple days. So there were visitors at our camp today?
Yes, they arrived from the city this morning. Why are you asking?
Just curious.
All right then, Pioneer. So tonight, after dinner, you'll be here. Maybe
Lena was barely noticeable this whole time. Surely she's able to remain invisible like a skilled ninja.
I could do it on my own.
Strangely, she seemed more spirited during lunch.
No way. There are lots of boxes. And a pioneer is always ready. Isn't that so, Pioneer?
She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. Insert JoJo meme here.
Yes. And JoJo symbols.
Yes, menacing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ora, ora,
I
ora,
don't want
ora.
I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this. And also I've got more important things to do. But rejecting this request would be really improper. If it wasn't Lena who was standing there, I would definitely think my way out. Okay, I'll come.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
That's how a true pioneer should answer.
Nice. Even after those words, I barely came a step closer to the be prepared, always prepared motto.
Then you can go.
I looked at Lena, who was standing at the ground. I guess all that time she spent staring at the ground was enough to learn everything there is to know about life and the habits of different insects. Plus, Lena likes to read, so she probably read many biological, botanical, and so on books. Perhaps she wants to become an entomologist. All of the darts.
Where will you head next?
Lena's words drew me away from the obscure thoughts. We've been standing at the square for some time, and my speculations about bugs' lives were only an attempt to escape this awkward situation. Though, why did I see it as awkward?
Just don't forget, all right?
Ah, this man. I'm going to. If he was here, I would fucking kill him.
Yeah, he needs to be pulled out of his head, like a lot.
Yeah. And don't forget what?
Well, tonight after dinner at the infirmary.
Her face got a slightly grumpy look to it. No way, that's impossible. Alright. Right after dinner, I'm at your service. I thought too late at my words. Lena blushed even harder. I need to find a way to ease the situation. What about the owls?
Yeah.
What about the owls? or the gates, or the bus,
Yes.
or the menacing figure in the corner that seems to have some symbols around him.
That is Viola.
Why did the nurse ask you to do it?
I don't know. I was just sitting on the bench reading a book when she came and...
It's smart to ask a reliable person who would never say no. Okay. Well then, after dinner.
Okay. I'll be off then.
Yes, sure. She walked off somewhere, besides the clubs, and I stood at the square for some time. So, what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. Suddenly I heard a different tune which was cutting through the usual noise of the camp. I listened to it carefully. It sounds like an electric guitar. 3 repeating chords, no more. But this melody felt somewhat warm, as if a vacuum tube-based audio amplifier was used. Could there be such a luxury here? There is such a thing as music club. Does
Yep.
this man forget everything?
Yeah.
He forgets music club exists. Although, how can you forget that music club exists
Yeah.
when
Miku.
you've got Miku just being there?
Yeah.
The sound was definitely coming from somewhere near the stage area. I wonder who that could be.
Which one?
I have no clue. Oh, who cares? I'd better keep looking for answers.
Alrighty.
Yee, look. Whoever it is, what's the big deal? I have better things to do. I came back to the leader's cabin. Olga was lying lazily on her bed reading a book.
Semyon, what are you doing here?
That's what I could. That's what I could ask her too. I'd forgotten something, so I came back.
You were absent at the lineup.
Oh yeah, I apologize.
Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today.
Just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Like?
You could go to the square to help with the cleaning. Slavia is in charge there.
Strange. I'd just been there and hadn't seen anyone. Ah. Blind, deaf and dumb.
Yes, or you can visit the boys at the electronics club. They asked me for a hand.
Those fathers of invention again.
Finally, you can help at the sports club.
What are they up to?
They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on.
Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with work? Seriously, except for Slavia, no one ever works here, while some people in particular are enjoying their free time with youthful spirit. Every one of the leader's attempts to keep me busy seemed to serve one purpose: prevent me from finding out my current location. Really, all the deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom together with all the rubbish and litter. In that case, taking some time to work would probably pay off. But just like someone suffering gangrene and rejecting the amputation, I will stand by my belief. You know, I already had my own arrangements.
Oh, really? What kind of arrangements?
She booked up. Well, I can't tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? No, it's too dangerous. Jesus fucking
Wow.
Christ. At least now I maintain fragile balance, and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way.
Just as I thought.
Yeah, I tried doing what you did. Ah!
Ah!
What exactly she thought remained secret?
You probably have not realized how important it is to participate in social life. This is the only way to become a pioneer capable of being a role model.
Hat the social life, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to sit through another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers in this world could be found in the most unexpected places. Or at least so I wanted to believe.
So, should I choose for you?
The leader's voice turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. I mumbled and left the cabin.
Alright, what's the choice here?
Day 3. The guys.
Alright, let's go.
Well, they might not be so giant after all. That was surely a hard decision to make. Indeed it is. Is there any reason to spend extra time with weird chaps fond of early to mid 20th century sci-fi? Yes, there is actually time. There is actually a reason to spend time with them.
Yeah,
They know technology.
they know
But
what?
what if I manage to find out something useful from them? Exactly. Well, at least I can try. Standing on the threshold of the clubhouse, I hesitated for a while. Finally, all my doubts were swept aside. I opened the door and went in. Electronic and Shurik were bending over the table, studying something closely. Hi there. Uh,
Cyberneticists?
cyberneticists. I think that's yeah. Hi there, cyberneticists. How's it going? I was itching to behave as friendly as I could. Friendly. Yes, friendly.
Yes.
Hi, we've been waiting for you. How did you know? How did I know you were going to say that? Electronic, obviously intended to be called the Oracle. So, what do you need? You'll help us complete the robot. No way. That's out of my league. Don't worry, we'll show you around. The more you hate me, the more you will learn. I'm a hard man. What's going on through my mind? I'm not going to say.
Without context, I can see why.
I'm a hard man.
Gee, what does this remind you of?
A hard guy. Oh, the hardest guy.
But I'm fair.
But I am fair. This is a fair man and a hard man. Okay, yeah, I can see where this is going. Electronic joined in cheerfully. There's more to life than fun and games, dudes. There's a topic to discuss. I've got a question, and you seem to have an answer. What's the question? He inquired guardedly. Do you think it's possible to travel in time? I want to kill this man. Just get on with shit. Don't
Yeah.
question reality. Why would you think such a thing? Electronic suddenly became serious. It's not only my idea. I took a book from the library yesterday. The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. You must have read it. So, well, I'm thinking it over. Oh. Want to leap into the future? See how life is there? Nah, not really. I'm more interested in traveling back in time. Why is that? I don't know. Why not? What do you think about it? General relativity theory postulates the existence of wormholes, also known as tunnels in space. But you wouldn't understand it all anyway.
Wow.
That pause says it all.
I know.
I bet I won't. Anyway, in such a superstition, we'll encounter a whole bunch of paradoxes. For example, if you travel to the past and kill yourself, then it would mean that you from the present wouldn't be able to exist. Well, it seems so. In a nutshell, it's too unscientific. I see, but what if it would be possible? I mean, do I need some kind of machine, a device, or a program to get to the past? Or is it enough just to fall asleep in the wrong place and wake up in another time in reality? This man.
Jesus.
I want this. By the end of this playthrough, I'm literally gonna hate the fucking protagonist.
I get he's sad and all, but like when there's an opportunity, he should just like at least take it happily.
If I had the opportunity to be in a pioneer camp like this back in time, I would fucking take it.
Yeah, same here.
A pioneer camp like this would seem incredibly fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I'm sure that modern science has no answer for your question yet. Oh yep, he sounds just like Popular Mechanics magazine. I've seen a couple issues lying around my shelves too. I see. I see, said the blind man to his deaf daughter. However, if we assume that known laws of physics are incorrect, or alternatively, the laws themselves are correct, but we don't know everything about them, then it's definitely possible. Okay. Or rather, it could be someone, for example, a more advanced race than humans, that possess superior knowledge of the nature of things. Okay. They could build a time machine or travel through time by some other means. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Very much okay.
Uh-huh.
So that means I was thrown into the past by humanity's big brothers. Oh, God.
Oh, come on.
Big brother. Big brother's watching. Also, people watch Big Brother. Don't know why people watch that fucking show, but they do.
And there's
Although
variations
this is,
around the globe.
although that phrase right there is reminding me of is reminding me of 1984 by George Orwell.
Ah, dude, same here.
Big Brother is watching.
Always.
Yes, next, Lynn. An interesting idea. And it seemed reasonable if you think about it. And how could one find these, the ones you've been talking about, if you're already in the past? How on earth would we know? They both laughed loudly. Also, his eyes disappeared.
Yep.
Well, thanks, guys. I was about to leave. Are you not going to fix the robot yet? Hey, hang on. What about the robot?
There it is.
I'm sure that everything will be just fine with it. The junior cybernetics arguments were quite logical, but alas, I wasn't an inch closer to solving the mystery of my arrival to this world. Why?
Uh,
Why are you doing this? I strolled around the camp for some time, then headed to the canteen. Who's marching forward in the row? It's our pioneer squad. Is it our pioneer squad? Pioneers in a row usually march to the canteen in Sovonyot camp. I was looking for a place where no one would disturb me. It's like what happened before. Just so I can eat in peace. And for that, I have to at least not be the last one to come. But I was pretty sure whatever happens, happens. and whether I want to be or not. The canteen was crammed, as full as an egg. Olga was standing at the entrance guarding it like a hawk.
Well, Semyon, were you working hard today?
Hard enough.
Well done, truly well done. Then the hardest is yet to come.
I just bet.
Fine, take a seat next to the girls.
She pointed a table next to the pillar. And Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena were already sat there. I cannot find this table. I cannot find this table at all.
Yeah.
Not bad company. Ulyana, not bad company.
Not bad
Yeah.
company.
At least not the worst. You could have Alyssa.
Yeah.
I got my meal and went up to them. Do you mind if I sit here? I caught myself sounding a bit clueless. There were no other free places anywhere.
Oh, no, of course not. Please do.
Lena remained silent.
Of course.
Lena and Damien, absolutely mad. The meal consisted of a plate of
Borscht.
a borscht. I suspected there was some meat lurking in it, but had no evidence. Some paltry chances of chickenus domesticus with fried potatoes and traditional glass of compote. I found myself liking the local food more and more. I guess it came to the conclusion that I have no other choice. Which means that there's no use in complaining. Thank God there's something to eat.
Coming to the ball tonight?
I don't know.
He'll come. He got nowhere to go.
Ulyana said happily. You'll come for sure.
Of course, I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself.
Literal fucking bean of a fucking person.
Yep.
I want to remove the fucking bands from that hair.
Yes.
She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And what about you? I asked Lena.
Yes.
She replied briefly.
See? You should go too then.
Said Slavia as if leaving me no choice.
Don't forget to wear your tailcoat.
Apparently Ileana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud. But I really had nothing to wear. My wardrobe was just a pioneer uniform and my winter clothes, which would be inappropriate even in the evening. And what will you be dressed in, entertainer?
Secret.
Will it be a little dress just like in a kindergarten mantine?
Matinee.
Matinee.
Ah, that's sharp. That's actually sharp.
Ulyana turned red. Looks like I managed to offend her.
Ah, he actually hit her.
What is a matinee?
It's like a movie event, that sort of thing.
Matinee.
Yeah.
A musical or dramatic performance or social public event held in held in the daytime and especially in the afternoon. The Saturday matinee was so crowded we had to sit in the second row. A fancy evening party, more example sensitive. Okay.
Yeah, I just know that word because like movie theaters use it, so that's why I keep thinking movies.
So the man went fucking in for that.
Yeah.
Next line.
No, I will wear a biohazard suit just so I don't catch an infection from you.
I wonder what kind of infection you're afraid of catching from me. Oh, Lord.
Enough, you guys, don't quarrel. Idiocy, of course.
Idiocy. Looks like Liana was highly pleased with her as she thought of a brilliant answer again. You know, if you already have the flu, you can't catch a cold. Oh.
Oh.
Two can play at that game. Oh my fucking god. Stop fighting with a young girl.
Yeah. What are you implying?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all. He's implying something there. I looked away shyly. She said idiocy. So idiocy would be a cold. What would be idiocy intensified, though?
Stupidity.
Oh god.
Do
I
you
know
mean
what he.
that?
I know exactly what he fucking means.
Oh boy. Care to
Oh,
say?
Jesus Christ. Next line. She went red again. It's not like you could tell. It's not like you could tell she's gone red or anything. It's not like her skin is more fucking tan than a Hawaiian.
Yep.
I don't mean anything.
Guys.
Given that Lena, it was Lena who interfered. It probably really was time to stop.
You're asking for it. You're gonna get it.
What? You'll finally wise up. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Instead of replying, Liana grabbed her plateful of borscht and tipped it over my head. The game met an unexpected finale. Oh, you little. She jumped and tried to run away. This time she won't get away. I grabbed her hand.
Oh.
And now what? I just can't smash her head against the table. This pantomime lasted a few seconds. Suddenly, Ilyana skillfully grabbed a glass full of compote and splashed it on my face. Then she managed to get free of my grip. She dashed off towards the counter and I chased her. Is it me or is there a fucking panzer just climbing into the building right now?
Yeah.
That or a fucking Brutus from Mob of the Dead.
Yep.
Richter scale 8! This resulted in several flip tables, a pile of smashed tableware, 5 pioneers crippled by various injuries and full exhaustion from both parties. You shouldn't have gone after her. A draw. Sort of. A belligerent draw. With too much belligerence.
Yep.
We stood before each other and breathed heavily. Tell me you won't behave this way again.
And you?
Olga snuck up on us from behind. When you think about it, Such a riot couldn't go unnoticed. Why did you do it then?
Well, are you satisfied with yourselves now?
Her voice appeared to be calm, but I was sure she was just about to explode.
And who's gonna clean up all this mess?
Exactly what happened,
Who? I'm asking you, who? Him!
replied Ileana with complete confidence. Her? I objected less confidently.
Both.
Both. The camp leader brought a conclusive end to this ongoing argument. Generally, I wasn't sure that my share of the blame is more than hers. You are both to blame. You will
Yeah.
both do it. Although Liana didn't have a drop of guilt on her face.
Beat it. I'm not cleaning. Ain't nobody got time for that. This is his fault. He started it first.
No, it isn't. Stop arguing with the little girl.
It's not a good look for you. Oh, yes, it is. I'm not going to sort out all of that nonsense. Semyon, go grab a mop, a bucket, some cloths, that kind of stuff in the closet. And as for you...
She looked at Ulyana with such a burning gaze that I felt a bit sorry for the girl.
You! Start to pick up the broken tableware immediately.
Olga took a deep breath and continued.
You're nothing but trouble. How many times have I told you?
I decided to skip the lecture, went to the closet that appeared near the exit. Suddenly, a perfect idea flashed in my head. Why don't I just run away? No. No. Sure, Olga has already caught us, but I'm not the one to blame. No, just do exactly as you've been told.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not that true pioneer she keeps talking about, but in comparison to Ulyana. Anyways, she's the principal culprit. No. You're both to blame. It's not like I have nothing better to do than cleaning up the mess here. I have to seek answers. The truth is out there. Somehow flash through my mind.
Which one?
I'm trying to see. Yes, help the cleaning.
Yeah, we might as well be responsible.
Nah, running away is hardly a good idea. For starters, Olga Dmitrievna has already caught me. Dashing off would only aggravate my punishment. As well as that, I was indeed partially guilty. Half guilty, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I may have done a wrong route here.
Oh.
Yeah. I fucking did a wrong route.
What should I do?
I'll just run with it.
Okay. Next line. Alright.
Yeah. But if I hadn't reacted like that, we probably could have avoided the thrashing. Probably. I opened the cabinet, took out a broom and mop and a dustpan. Olga wasn't anywhere near, but Ulyana by the time I returned. She's gone.
Can't you see for yourself?
Ulyana looked upset. All her youthful spirit had vanished without a trace. Okay, hang on a sec. I'll go and wash a bit first. I shot her an angry glance and headed towards the exit. I washed the scraps of lunch off myself and returned to the canteen. Well, no escaping it. We have to clean it up.
It's all because of you.
Just a single gaze from her gave me the creeps. Of course it is. It's me who's guilty of everything. It's me who's a local natural hazard.
Oh, shut up.
It's still kind of strange that she's not trying to avoid the cleanup duty. Ulyana had a solid opportunity to just run away and leave me alone, but somehow she did the exact opposite, diligently gathered broken plate fragments, mopping up the floor and cleaning up chairs and tables. In fact, she was so fast, I had a tough time keeping up with her. Well now, aren't you suddenly acting all goody-goody?
It's not
It's
like
not like I want
want to spend the whole
Oh.
day. You did it! You did it!
No! Horrific me!
It's not like I want to spend the whole day here, you dork.
She still sounds irritated. Listen, you've got to understand that you can't behave like that. At least, not to such an extent. For some reason, I decided to try and give her a moral lecture. It's you giving her a moral lecture.
I haven't done a thing. It was you who was calling me names.
Ulyana grabbed a bucket and mop and went to the farthest corner of the canteen. Looks like she's still angry. Looking back at the mountain of broken tableware, I finally began to understand the scope of the catastrophe. We're lucky that at least the forks and spoons are made of metal. We still had something to eat with. But there's hardly any plates left.
Hey.
Ulyana called me with a shout. I went over to her.
I don't get it. Why do you hate me so much? Oh.
Okay, what was that?
You want me to hit the other?
Go back one, yeah. Click the line. Yeah, go on the back thing and then click the line. The why do you hate me so much one. Yeah, now go forward.
Okay.
Her face became so serious that it was ready to believe that it wasn't just another trick of hers. Why do you think so?
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't hate you. It's just that sometimes you behave like... well, you know. It's as simple as that, but still true.
Like what? I have no idea.
She lifted her gaze to me, boiling with curiosity. Well, for starters, what's the big deal pouring comp all over me?
You were asking for it.
Obviously. She smiled for the first time since we started cleaning. Yeah, sure. I heaved a deep sigh. So what do you expect from the others, then?
Nothing.
She replied. Acidly?
Acidly.
Acidly. The discussion was over, so I just continued cleaning up in silence. It took us a few hours to fix up the canteen. At last, the broken tableware was gone. Chairs and tables were in the designated places, and the floor looked clean. We were sitting together, Uliana next to the food counter, breathing heavily, deservedly resting. Now you see how much effort has been put in because of a silly trick.
But I'm not tired at all.
Though the sweat pouring down her face told the opposite story. Oh well, good for you.
So, what are we gonna do next?
I don't know about you, but I'd rather go.
Nope, that's not all. You have to.
She hesitated.
To help me with another little thing.
Thinking of another silly prank.
You bet.
She was smiling broadly. I'm not your man here. I'm more fed up with just one punishment today.
Okay, here's the deal. If you help me now, there won't be any more pranks.
I sure was an inviting prospect, but somehow I couldn't bring myself to trust Uliana for even a moment. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask. So what is your cunning plan?
We're gonna steal the candy.
What? I should have expected something like that. Candy is for kids. Silly rabbit, twigs are for kids.
Yay! Soon the chef will go out to dump the trash. Nobody's gonna see us.
Count me out.
Ah, whatever.
She grunted and turned away.
Then I'll do it myself.
And I want a lot. I couldn't even finish my sentence as Ilyana jumped over the counter, ran into the cabinet, opened the door, and started rummaging through it. Hey, cut that! It's not like you've got enough problems with Olga. She didn't reply. You won't get away with just cleaning duty for something like that. Liana closed the cabinet. She held a huge bag of candy in her hands. Ah, you little, put it back. She stuck out her tongue at me and dashed off through the back door. I couldn't just leave it at that. I darted off in pursuit. Sure, the girl had quite a head start, but I funneled all my energy into the chase. I won't lose her again. We ran through the square, turned at the music building, and came out of the forest trail. I'd almost caught Liana when she stopped abruptly. I couldn't pull as sharply, so I crashed into her, sending us sprawling. We rolled down onto the grass. Gotcha. I gave a victorious shout.
No, you didn't.
She replied with an ashamed tone. Liana was lying under me. Her face was right next to mine. I felt her erratic breathing in the heat of her body. Sure, right now she's the only child, but soon enough she'll become a woman.
Oh.
Mm. It was pretty embarrassing. Of course it'd be.
Yeah. You gonna rape me?
Jesus Christ! She said, coming back to her senses. Oh, God! Oh! I refuse to read that line. I refuse to read that.
You're gonna skip this
Primarily,
one?
I'm skipping that line.
Okay.
I refuse to.
Yeah. Terrible implications.
Anyway, it was more like a game to her.
Sure do.
She gave a cunning smile and snorted quietly. Or was it just my imagination? Oh! I'm not really in the mood.
Whatever.
Yana reached up and bit me on the nose. I wasn't expecting that, and even pulled back a little. Just a moment of hesitation was enough for her to wrestle out a dozen feet away. We might actually still be on the route I need.
Oh, sweet. Watch it.
Might.
You're gonna regret this later. Sweet.
Yeah, I think we're still on the route I fucking need.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Okay, she laughed out loud and disappeared into the woods. Of course she fucking did. The candy bag was lying on the ground near me. I wonder if she dropped it on purpose. It's getting near dinner time, so I had to hurry up and return the candy. And preferably, very preferably, stay under the radar. Of course, I explained the situation. It was Uliana who had stolen them. But who's going to believe me? Plenty people, obviously.
Yeah.
Olga was waiting for me at the entrance to the canteen.
Good job, Semyon.
On what? I hid the bag of sweets behind my back. The bag was transparent and too big to put in my pocket.
I was talking about the cleanup. Everything is clean and tidy.
Well, yeah.
And where's Uliana?
I wish I knew. She'll come back soon.
Okay then, go and have your dinner.
I entered the canteen. To my utter lack of surprise, it was full. Now I really don't know how to return the bag without being noticed. Sure, I could do it in the evening, but what do I do with it now?
Semyon!
I turned around and Slavia was in front of me.
Wow, what's that?
She looked at the bag and I didn't manage to hide in time. Caught red-handed or more, like sweet-handed, time to prepare for a scolding. These are sweets.
Where from?
I stole them, damn it. Got them from Uliana.
Oh, I see. Same old song and dance?
What do you mean? Hmm.
It's not the first time she's stolen sweets.
Yes. Interesting.
Interesting.
Common occurrence.
Yes.
And why am I not surprised?
Let me handle this.
Thanks. Slavia saves the day yet again. She took the bag and headed to the buffet. I had no desire to listen to what she was going to say while returning the sweets, so I started to look around the canteen looking for a place to sit. It seems I will have to share a dinner table with Electronic and Shurik. But lads, there were no more places to sit.
You can't be with the boys.
What's happening, gentlemen? Every time I had to deal with them, I got an itching desire to tease them or at least drop some cheeky or cocky banter.
Phrasing!
Banter with the lads! Absolutely banter.
Yes.
It might be too risky to behave this way, but the Electronic Brothers were a primary source of positive emotions.
The lads.
How are you doing? Fine. What about you? Hits and misses. Did something happen? Lots of stuff. Mind sharing? Nah, some of the time maybe. Suit yourself. Where is the route for the lads? There's no route for lads in
I
this, and it's
wish.
horrific.
I fucking wish. I know.
He made a helpless gesture. We're going. English, English, English. We're going to the ball after dinner. Electronic giggled. I know that. Who would you want to ask out? I hadn't thought about it yet.
One of the lads. I wish.
Well, yeah, I wish. I wish.
I wish. Me too. Me too.
Ask the guys. Oh, what about you? Obviously not gay enough.
Ugh.
I. It seemed like that question caught him off guard.
For Christ's sake.
Ask Juliana, that would make her happy. No thanks. Electronic furiously waved his hands. And you, Shurik, you gotta ask Alyssa out. Oh God!
Ah.
Thanks, I'll pass. He looked calmer than his mate. Oh, come on, guys. It'd be fun. And in any case, we've got things to do. We still have to finish the robot. Oh, that's a marvelous idea. Ask your robot out, can it dance? Oh, he can't even walk yet. Sure, it probably missed the point completely. Oblivious man. Well, it would be a great demonstration for our achievements in front of the camp. And what would we show to them? Yeah, you're right. They both stared at their plates disappointingly. He made the lads sad.
Yeah. Aww.
How very sad. Dot.
More dots.
Dinner was over, and the pioneers started to disperse. What will you wear for the ball? Hey, a shuriken electronic. We don't have anything special to wear. We'll go as we are. He indicated his pioneer uniform. They don't seem to care about their appearance at all. Well, why should I care then? Wearing winter clothes isn't an option, so I'll just go like this. I would wear a pure white suit.
Yeah. Well, I can just get a dress.
I would wear a pure white suit because absolutely brilliant. White suits are brilliant.
Yes, they are. That they are.
When does it start? After 9 o'clock. Got it. I left the canteen, deeply inhaled the fresh evening air. I remembered those rare dances I used to go to at school. Hesitation, insecurity, even fear. I couldn't dance, I didn't know how to react if someone invited me. Jesus. All in all, I felt pretty uncomfortable about it. Even then, Ed, and it was even more unpleasant to watch others have fun. It wasn't envy. More like a disconcerting feeling that people were able to enjoy something so odd for me. I thought that there was still lots of time till the ball, so I could sleep a little to be refreshed for the evening. Entering the camp leader's cabin, I flopped onto the bed instantly and shut my eyes. Strangely enough, I got up right on time without even an alarm. It was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. I felt sluggish, though. Probably, it wasn't the best idea to sleep during the day after all. Well, I have to go. In a couple of minutes, I was standing in the square. The loudspeakers and some DJ equipment were installed on the near monument, and the trees were decorated with light strings. The typical country ball. Lots of pioneers were about, but no familiar faces, so I just sat on the benches and waited. I don't have to dance after all. Maybe I'll be able to sit and chat with someone.
Hey there, sad face.
Uliana, here to suggest something?
Come on, let's dance.
It's way too early. There isn't even any music yet.
Bah, you're so boring.
Yeah, I'm not the merriest person for such an for a such event. She ran away. So Uliana did wear something like an evening dress. Pretty funny. I don't see what's funny about it, but go
Hi.
on. Flavia. Hey. She sat down by my side.
How's the evening?
Fine.
Why are you so sad?
I'm not.
Okay, well, dancing will surely cheer you up.
Maybe.
Don't forget to save one dance for me.
She laughed and ran towards the music equipment. The situation was getting serious. I wouldn't be able to sit through the whole dance party.
Hi.
Lena came closer. Oh, hi, you're here too. Is that such a wonder?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna light this party up? The joke fell flat. Lena blushed and looked down. Well, maybe that's not the best idea, setting things on fire.
Okay then, I guess so.
Yeah. She laughed. It looks like the whole camp was at the square. The pioneers formed large groups, talked, joked, and laughed. At the DJ's panel, Ulyana argued loudly with Olga about the playlist for the evening. And here it is. The music started to play. I didn't know the band or the song, but if you ask me, I felt really that I'd tag up the Soviet pop classics. The pioneers just stood there for some time, as if not hearing the music. It's always hard to take the first step. Especially if you're pretty sure that you'll be the only one who would take it. Ulyana seemed to not grasp the simple truth. She reached for the center of the square with a few bounds and cried out loud.
What are you standing around here for?
And started to wiggle ridiculously. Wiggle is the exact word. You couldn't find a better one. It looked so silly and funny that I couldn't resist laughing. She noticed it.
Hey, Semyon!
I pretended I couldn't hear her.
Stop pretending! Come over here!
I kept ignoring her. The pioneers slowly realized that they weren't too sexy for this party and started to dance. It looked really silly from my point of view. Shaking one's arms and legs to the beat of long-forgotten hits. Come on, get real. Of course, I couldn't dance at all, but this thing couldn't be called a dance either.
Hey, Semyon, what are you sitting there for? Don't you want to dance?
I was so deep in thought I hadn't even noticed Slavia. Not really.
Are you sure?
She smiled. Maybe later. Damn, what am I even doing here? One more invitation to dance would completely ruin my pride. I started to think about an appropriate excuse to leave, and was looking for the moment to do so but then I saw Lena. She was slowly heading my way.
Maybe we should go?
Where to? Did he forget? I was so immersed in my thoughts that I didn't really get what she meant.
To the infirmary. But if you want to stay here and dance.
I doubt she was going to dance. Lena had stood aside the whole evening. No, I'll pass. Let's go. At least I won't have to stand here like a shy nerd. Seriously, trying to conceal myself in the corner wasn't very pleasant. A bull in a china shop would be more agile than me on the dance floor. A bull in a china shop is actually fucking agile.
Yeah.
They tried to avoid the china.
Yeah.
I didn't have the slightest intention of dancing in the first place. Maybe you should.
Yeah. Well, shall we go to the infirmary?
Lena brought me out of my thoughts. We'd been just standing there, near the canteen for some time. Yes, sure, thank you.
What for?
She looked at me in surprise. Well, for getting me out of there. I shouldn't have told her that dancing is not my thing. It's, you know, so boring there.
It seems to me you don't like dancing.
There was not a trace of sarcasm on her truthful, even childlike face. Seems like she really doesn't understand. Yes, I don't like it at all. I'm not into it.
Me too. No one ever invites me to dance.
Lena blushed and stared at the ground as usual. Strange.
What's strange?
Well, that no one ever invites you.
You think so?
Again, she looked at me with the expression of surprise and a lack of understanding. I got confused and couldn't find what to say in return right away. Yes, certainly. If I like dancing, I would have invited you for sure.
Thanks.
Smooth talker! We didn't say a word for the rest of the way. Lena obviously felt too confused by my awkward compliment and just didn't know what topic to choose for a conversation. It was completely dark by the time. By that time, and the gloomy building of the infirmary, covered in night mist, looked strongly like a haunted house. I felt a strong desire to turn around and walk away without making any noise. I threw a quick glance at Lena and noticed she looked unusual, shy, modest, uncertain, but not in any way scared. It just made me more uncomfortable. It can't be that she's not scared while I. Suddenly, an owl hooted nearby, and I shivered. Lena seemed either to not hear it or pay attention to it, or just not scared by it at all. I could hardly believe the third option, but I didn't want to ask her about it, giving away my own fear. I entered the infirmary and found a switch in the dark. Will the nurse come later?
She won't come.
Okay, she won't come, understood. Wait a second. What do you mean she won't come? Cyberpunk music. Ah, I see. It is not that I'm afraid to be alone with Lena. Indoors. Or at night. With no one around. Only in movies does something happen under such circumstances. Is it just that I am with Lena and not Ulyana or Slavia? And it seriously changed my attitude towards things happening.
There are boxes.
Could you, pause recording real quick? I will be right back.
Alright.
She pointed at the stack of boxes. There were about a dozen of them. It would take much more than 10 minutes of work. I put one of the boxes on the table before me and started to take out its contents. There were bandages, lots of little packs of bandages.
Here, take this.
Lena gave me a piece of paper. There were some fields, and I quickly realized that I should have put a name on the left, and the description in the middle, if there is one, and the quantity on the field in the right. It's not a database, but it'll do. The work started in full swing.
Semyon.
What? I looked at Lena. She stared at me for a couple of moments, seemingly making her mind up, or what to do or to say something, but then lowered her gaze again.
No, never mind.
It was physically hard for me to just sit without saying a word. However, I didn't dare speak first, not only because I couldn't think of a good topic for conversation, but that I was just feeling shy. This girl could easily be embarrassed by anything.
Semyon,
Yes?
you're counting them all over again.
Indeed, I had started to take out and put into the database of the bandages I had already counted. Oh, sorry. She didn't answer. Hey, where are you from? I mean, where did you come from? Meaning, what? Jesus, where were you born? I mean, where do you live?
Ah. Well, there is a town not far from here.
Not far from here. Where is that?
Somewhere.
Looks like she doesn't want to talk about it. Is Lena hiding something too? Is it explicable in the case of Olga? But it is explicable in the case of Olga, but not in Lena's case. It's absolutely not like her. Is it a secret?
No, just.
So is it somewhere in the south too? I should have thought something more original. Every single sudden idea turned out the wrong way. This attempt to play spy worked out even worse. And I thought about the south just because the pioneer camp at the Soviet Union, the only pioneer camp in the Soviet Union I remembered was at Artek.
Yes.
Lena hesitated to reply. I couldn't quite tell if she was lying or not.
Don't you like it here?
I wonder what part of I said made her think so. Absolutely not. I like it here. My false friendliness sounded very insincere, grating on the ears. What about you?
I like it. It's so calm here. There are a lot of books in the library. And the people are nice.
Nice, but not all of them.
Why?
Did I really have to say the last bit out loud? Turns out I did. Well, you know. Liana, for example. She's like an Energizer battery with a completely unbalanced point of power application.
Battery. What?
Maybe I really was sent back in time. Never mind. Ah. Or else saying a pioneer is the kid's role model certainly doesn't describe her. Even if everyone started following her example, it would be a complete disaster for the country in 20 years or so. However, think about it now. You can draw that conclusion that everybody did follow the example of Alyssa Dachevska in the 1980s, where I probably am right now.
She's not like that, actually.
Not like that. Not like what?
Not like what you said about her.
To begin with, I hadn't said anything. I just stated the fact that she's not the best example to follow.
Well, maybe.
Sounds like you know her well enough.
Probably.
I asked that question only to keep the conversation going. I didn't expect an answer like that. Alyssa and Lena were so different, the idea they could be close was unbelievable for me.
We came from the same town.
As if he had foreseen my question.
We have common friends, even though Elisa is 1 year older.
Okay. It's a little bit strange. Oh, not like that, I'm just surprised.
Everyone gets surprised.
Lena smiled a bit. I took the second box. Analgium activated charcoal, saline solution, potassium permanganate,
Permagnate. Magonite.
I'm reading next one. For Ferrazolin
Yes.
and
Analgium.
Analgium. Lena always spoke in simple sentences. How come I can communicate with her if every conversation turns into a monologue or just awkward silence? I wasn't quite satisfied with the such state of things. It looked like she was hiding something in. Sometimes it looked like she was hiding something behind her mask of shyness. But what? You know, I read a book not that long ago. Do you like science fiction?
Not much.
Damn, another failure. Well, if you don't like it, then what books do you like?
Different kinds.
The conversation wasn't going smoothly, and I had to turn it off for the better. Who knows why, but I thought about the dance again. Feeling of uneasiness, discomfort, and even shame overwhelmed me once more. Looks like I'm not that different from Lena when it comes to such things. I'm shy, afraid of things I don't understand or can't do. I should probably overcome my own fears before anything else. And this will help me understand her better. I've made up my mind. There are only a couple of boxes left.
Yes.
Hey, I've got an idea. How about we go to the canteen afterwards? I think the tape recorder was taken back there. What is it doing in the canteen? I hesitated.
What for?
Her sincere look made it clear that she hadn't the slightest idea what I'm going to offer. Well, frankly speaking, I just don't know how to dance. That's why I don't like it. That's the reason I was so confused back there. Maybe I could thank you by dancing with you?
But
She stopped sorting out the medicine for a moment, blushed, and looked right into my eyes. I got a bit stubborn. It really was a stupid idea. It's okay if you don't want to. I don't insist.
What if someone sees us?
I certainly didn't think about that. It's not a big deal. But everyone is asleep already. And no one is going to the canteen at night.
How will we get in there?
I should have thought about that beforehand. Well, I did have Slavia's keys, but didn't want to mention them. Someone could get the wrong idea about me stealing them. The moment I regretted that, I still didn't have my cell phone from the leader's cabin. Olga talked my head off, then I forgot it. Anyways, I had to say something to get away from this awkward topic. What kind of music do you like?
Different kinds. I am not really into it.
Then let's imagine it's playing now. I mean, that we hear it playing.
How's that?
Like, it plays in your head. I still remembered the melody the pioneers were dancing to. The music and the words were really clear in my memory.
I'm not sure I can do it.
You can just try.
Probably.
I've got her consent. In Lena's case, even that probably could be considered a yes. We silently sorted the medical supplies for the rest of the time, writing down their names and quantities. I should pay more attention to every word I say after such luck. I stayed silent for most of the time, though. Soon, we finished the last box. I gave Lena the filled-in list and started to stare at her, like I saw Bigfoot riding a unicycle while juggling piglets. This man lives in his own head.
Yes. He needs to be pulled out.
Frightening and above all mesmerizing. She suddenly broke out laughing. What?
That look of yours.
What about it?
It's just funny.
Really?
Yeah, so where are we going to go?
Where? The last words unsettle me. I completely forgot what we're talking about. Frankly speaking, I completely left this world for a moment.
Well, you know, to dance.
Lena blushed right away, and her face took on a strange expression of shyness, uneasiness, and fear. Sorry, I was just lost in thought. Let's go to the pier. I don't know why I chose that place. Maybe because you could run into a pioneer at the square, residential area, or near the canteen, but not the pier. That's what I thought, at least. Or maybe because the large, bright moon reflecting on the water in the night. And it is a full moon day. I don't know how, but this solution just offered itself. If you don't like it, then we can...
No, that's a really nice place.
Lena locked the door and we made our way to the pier. Night fell on the sleeping camp.
Shall we follow the road?
Why? It would be faster to... It would be faster through the forest. There is a nice path there.
Well, there could be.
Who? An owlet? I laughed.
Oh, you...
A shadow of displeasure crossed her face. Never mind it, sorry.
If you want to... Bah.
If you want to.
Okay. But can I...
Wholesome moments.
Yes, very wholesome.
Without finishing, she grabbed onto my arm.
Is it okay with you?
Now it was my turn to blush. Of course. We walked through the forest. It was hardly a forest, though. More like a small grove between the camp and the pier. About 100 meters long. I would never think that there would be such anything to be afraid of, even on my own. But it just seemed like Lena's fear was contagious. The branches swayed over us. I shuddered, and Lena clung onto my arm even more strongly. Don't be afraid. It must be a squirrel.
Yeah.
We reached the pier. The night was really beautiful. I walked closer to the river and called Lena. Look! At the pier, the boathouse, and the moon were reflecting in the water. It looked like another world, with the surface of the water being the door to Wonderland. You could just jump in and find yourself on the other side. May I have this dance? I extended my hand to her and bowed clumsily. Lena hesitated. I must have overdid it with my mannerism. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. I'm no good at it either. Why either? She never said she couldn't dance, though it was kind of obvious.
Okay.
Wholesome moments!
Aww.
Wholesome moment! Lena
Aww.
gave me her hand. I led her a bit aside and gently put my arm around her waist. We just stood like that for a few moments.
And what next?
Well, I don't know. Do you remember that song?
Barely. But I remember.
Great. Let's waltz. Like in the movies.
How's that?
Instead of answering her carefully, I started to move in a circle with Lena. See? Not that hard at all.
Yeah.
We waltzed for several minutes. Or whatever you call it. I felt her warmth, though. We were not that close to each other. Her chest heavy, her chest heavily, and her face started to blush more and more. Lena didn't look at me, averting her eyes from one side to the other. I suddenly realized that I'd never felt anything like this before. It was tenderness, overtaking reality, as if I had found myself in another, better world. I realized that I didn't want to let this girl go, and that I would give up anything just to go on waltzing with her forever. I clasped Lena tighter, and only then did she look straight at me. There was a surprising confusion in her gaze, but no fear whatsoever. She wasn't afraid of me, and didn't push me away.
And you said you can't dance.
I really can't.
Not yet. I'll do it later. Or tomorrow. Sorry about that.
Okay. I was confused. I didn't expect that reaction from her. How's her confusion, shyness, and fear disappeared to? You too. Dance pretty well.
I know.
A playful smile crossed her face. This is called opening up to people.
Yep.
Or maybe it just seems so to me. No, I swear I saw it. How is that possible? The image of a shy, modest Lena didn't fit together with this moment at all. What should I say? What should I do next? I could only keep on waltzing with her in this dance, which was getting stranger with every passing minute.
Semyon! Semyon! Where are you?
The voice came from the edge of the forest. Damn, worst timing ever.
Semyon!
It was Olga. She must have been worrying because I should have been back a long time ago. I should have guessed that Tyler's camp leader would start searching for a lost pioneer. I should have warned her beforehand. Oh, there is no point in thinking about it now. Lena looked at me questioningly. Oh God,
Being seen together would not be the best thing.
Why? Let's go and tell her everything's alright.
No, let's hide and return to the camp later.
Her idea was strange. Everything was going so well. At least something was starting to work out. Or it seemed like it did. But what was that something? Okay then. I decided not to argue. It was appropriate in such a situation. Olga shouted for a while and left.
Let's go.
Yes. Lena didn't grab onto my arm on the way back. I was a little bit frustrated, but wasn't certain enough to take the first step. We kept silent again. It was not the typical of Lena to start a conversation, and I just didn't know what to say after everything had happened at the pier. She kept looking at the ground all the way back, keeping her usual expression. What a bizarre change. Or, to be more precise, what was bizarre was the smile on the pier and Lena's words. She stopped at the square.
Well, I have to go.
Okay,
Thank you for today.
yes. Lena turned around and headed to her cabin, and I kept standing where I was. What the hell was that? The dance, the sudden change in the mood, and then everything was back to normal. It was like embracing another Lena for in that short moment. That's right, she wasn't herself. She seemed a completely different person. Maybe I don't know her well enough. I had a feeling before that Lena hides something under a mask of shyness. It takes much longer than 2 days to understand someone. Damn, what should I do? Maybe I was just seeing things. I walked to the leader's cabin. The whole camp was sleeping. There was no one to see me. So what? What's wrong with a pioneer taking a walk at night? I was almost at the door when I heard a noise behind me. The branches of a bush near the trees rustled as someone moved there. There shouldn't be any wild animals around here. Someone must have been watching me. That very moment I rushed in the direction of the noise, forced myself through the bushes and looked around. It was too dark, I didn't see anything or anyone. There was no point in going on, even if someone was watching me. He must have gone already. I went back in the cabin. The light inside was on. Looks like she's still awake.
Samyon, where have you been?
What do you mean where? Me and Lena have been sorting medical supplies in the infirmary. I told you before that I would be doing that in the evening.
Really? When was that? Took you long enough. I was in the infirmary about half an hour ago. It was closed and the lights were off.
Oh well, we decided to have a little walk.
I'm fretting about you while you're out having a walk.
Well, sorry. I'll let you know beforehand next time.
Please do. Go to bed. It's late.
I can't help agreeing with her. It was by any measure a hard day. I was too tired to think about the evening's events, and I doubt I would have any decent thoughts. The main thing is that I have not a single idea how to react to all of this. To Lena, to the camp, to this whole world. I practically haven't spent a minute on looking for answers. Moreover, I've been avoiding it, as if the possible discovery scared me. And Lena. The time I spent with her was much more important than any attempt to return to the real world. I could ruin myself for a long time, trying to understand what I did wrong and what I didn't do at all.
And we
And
stop.
that is where we end it.